Excalidraw may look like a simple vector illustration tool, but under the disguise, it is a revolutionary visual thinking powerhouse that will convert the Obsidian MD caterpillar into a beautiful butterfly of a visual thinking tool. Let me show you how. This will be a super fast-paced demonstration. I'll cover a total of 57 features in 17 minutes. But we're only scratching the surface. All around the mind map, I included thumbnails of related videos from my channel. You'll find a link to this mind map in the video description. We'll start with the teaser power feature, then dive into the basics. I have a lot in store for you, so stick around to see them all. Thanks to the integration with TaskBone, Excalidraw supports optical character recognition. Because your data is sent to a cloud service, this feature needs to be enabled in plugin settings under miscellaneous features. OCR supports free draw scribble and image. You can run it from the command palette and the result will be placed on the clipboard. Of course, Excalidraw has all the basic shapes. You can also activate these tools with the keyboard. Notice the shortcuts next to each shape. There are multiple tools that help you align and size your objects. Grid is one of them. Look for Set Grid in the script store to customize the grid size and tick frequency. Use the Element Properties panel to change color and other attributes of your objects. Snap to Objects is another powerful way to align and size objects. It intelligently lets you position elements relative to the others. The Stencil library lets you store simple illustrations that you can add to and modify in your scene. You can add new items to the library via the context menu with the Add to Library function. Browse libraries will open the Excalidraw library on the web. Note, the Add to Excalidraw button does not work with Obsidian. You must first download the selected library, then add to your local library using the Open Library function. Now, what would be a thinking tool without linking? Use Insert Link to File from the context menu to link to any file from your vault. Press Ctrl or Command while hovering the link to see a preview. Notice also that the inserted text element is simply a wiki link. Another way to link is to transclude text from your notes to your drawing. I'm using the Text Transporter plugin here to help with copying a block reference. You can also attach links to individual elements using Insert Link to File from the context menu. And of course, all your links will show up under outgoing links and backlinks, just like for Markdown notes. Create beautiful process flows in seconds. Excalidraw supports converting Mermaid markup to drawings. Plus, if you have an OpenAI API key, text to diagram can automate the process of creating simple flow and sequence diagrams. If you prefer a professional, sharp look instead of the default hand-drawn style, change edges to sharp, slopiness to architect, and text to normal. You may also add interactive elements, such as YouTube videos, to your scene. There are many different drop actions. Use modifier keys like Ctrl-Alt-Shift to select what happens. We'll look at relevant settings in a moment. Linking also works between elements in your scene or even between scenes. Use Copy Markdown Link for selected element from the context menu to get your link. We'll look at different types of links in a moment. Then simply paste the link wherever you want to use it, even a Markdown note. Later, when you Control or Command click to navigate the link, you'll be transported to the element. Of course, you can insert images and other Excalidraw drawings to your scene. Simply select Insert Any File from the context menu. But if for some reason you don't want to import an image to Obsidian, I have you covered. Simply drag and drop from the web to insert with a link. Clicking the image will open the original location in your browser. Plus, you can link to files from your local drive. Simply drag and drop from Explorer or Finder and select the appropriate drop action with a modifier key. Opening the link will prompt you for the relevant app on your PC. There are many ways to export images. Now I'm exporting the entire scene as an SVG to outside Obsidian. Note that exporting outside your vault is not supported on mobile devices. Notice how the YouTube video is clickable when I open the image in a browser. Unfortunately, Apple Safari does not support this feature. You can simply embed your drawings into your Obsidian notes using the standard Markdown markup. I'm using the Recent Files plugin here to easily drag and drop the most recent link to the note. If you only want to reference part of the image, that is also possible. Simply group the elements you want to reference and copy a Markdown link to that group. When embedding this to your note, only the elements in the group will show. And if you need to change the size of the embedded image, simply add the width and height following the pipe character. I'm a big believer of connecting ideas by reusing images. With the Deconstruct selected elements script, you can carve out part of your drawing to another file so you can embed and reference it separately. Your original element will be replaced by the embedded image of the deconstructed parts. Back of the note cards are Markdown embeds that are created in the same file as the Excalidraw drawing. They are simply level 1 Markdown sections in the document. Use these to add formatted text, tables, or to run templater scripts, and more. Note, however, that these are not included in image exports currently. Switching the drawing to Markdown view mode, you can see and edit the new section in the note. Switching back, the edits are of course visible. There are many ways to customize the look and feel of cards via both the Cards Settings window and the Element Properties panel. Similar to back of the note cards, you can also embed complete Markdown documents using Insert Any File. Using the modifier key, select Insert Interactive Frame when dropping a URL from the web. Embeds are scalable. Hold down Shift when you resize to scale the embedded object. Scaling is also available on the Embeddables setting window. Plugin Settings offers you the opportunity to tailor the features to fit your workflows. For example, you can configure link, click, and drag and drop modifier keys here. By setting a folder as your template in Basic Settings, you tell Excalidraw to treat each file in that folder as a template. Let's create a new template file for professional use. I'll configure this to use architect lines, normal fonts, and the grid. Note, when you're done, you should press Ctrl S to save all the template configurations. Notice how when I create a new drawing with this template, my defaults are honored. Excalidraw comes with an extensive script store. Some of these scripts are simple, others add complex new features. Here's how you would install the Slideshow script using Search. There are different ways to define slides. I prefer using an arrow. The point pairs on the arrow mark the top and bottom of slides, and the direction of the arrow the presentation sequence. The split ellipse script is magical. Simply draw an ellipse and a line that will cut the ellipse, then run the script. Boolean operations, takes this a step further. You can add shapes, subtract them, and more. Repeat elements will compare the color, size, rotation of two samples and repeat the same transformation multiple times. I use select elements of type every day. It will narrow down your selection to a certain type of element. Here, I'm recoloring only the arrows. For example, I use set dimensions when creating YouTube thumbnails to exactly size them to match HD resolution. Crop and mask image does what the name suggests. Not shown here, but a black overlay will make the part of the image transparent and the white will make it opaque. Colors are important when reusing atomic illustrations. Notice the color palette. Palette Loader lets you load a custom palette. Use it to achieve a consistent color style across your vault. Palettes are stored in simple Markdown files. Excalidraw comes with built-in support for dark and light modes, which is great for simple drawings, but not very good when it comes to color accuracy. I've developed the Invert colors script that will keep the drawing in light mode but invert the colors, resulting in a much better color experience. I use Excalidraw in light mode but with a darker palette. Obsidian Excalidraw ships with tray mode. I like this because element properties are not in the way. However, if you prefer the Excalidraw.com UI, you can switch to normal mode and back. There are two ways to insert a PDF file into Excalidraw. We'll look at the As PDF option first. This will import the pages as images that you can then freely organize on the infinite canvas and can circle, arrow, highlight, and comment as needed, just like on paper. The other option is to import it as an embeddable object. Should you want to grab a chart or illustration from the active PDF page, you can use the crop and mask image action to grab the picture while maintaining the link to the original source PDF file. This feature even works in Markdown notes and on Obsidian Canvas. In Markdown, make sure the PDF link includes the page reference. Then, with the line active in Markdown Editor, select Crop and Mask Image from the command palette. Double-clicking the image will prompt you to open the crop file or the PDF page from where you've taken the image. You may save font files anywhere in your Obsidian vault. In plugin settings, under non-excalidraw.com supported features, you can select which font you want to use as the fourth font on top of the 3 default fonts that comes with Excalidraw. Note, however, that when opening your drawing on excalidraw.com, these fonts will be replaced with the normal font. In Obsidian, you can use different custom pens. These are also not supported by excalidraw.com. Watch the PDF highlighters video to learn about highlighting images. Not shown here, but you can configure these pens by double-clicking on the icon in the toolbar. I include limited support for LaTeX formulas. You can insert them using the command palette and edit them holding down Alt-Control or Command-Option while clicking on them. ExcaliAI features require an OpenAI API key and the ExcaliAI script. ExcaliAI comes with many predefined actions. Keep in mind that DALL-E is slow at generating images. Note also that images are not imported to your vault by default, but if you like the image, save it to your vault because OpenAI deletes images after 30 minutes. Similar to cropping, you can also annotate images in Markdown notes and on Obsidian Canvas. Select Annotate Image in Excalidraw from the command palette, then add your annotations. Note that the original image will not be modified, only an overlay is added by Excalidraw. The Text Aura script adds a text shadow. Read the script description to learn how to change the shadow color. Let's download an SVG icon from Flat Icon and add it to our drawing with the Import Image function. Use Ctrl S to force save the drawing after you've added the new image. This will ensure the Convert SVG to Strokes action is visible when right-clicking the SVG icon. Excalidraw will try to convert the SVG to strokes. This feature is not perfect and does not always work, but still useful. While you will not be able to directly collaborate on your Obsidian Excalidraw files, you can still embed collaboration frames into your drawing and invite others to work with you. These drawings are stored on Excalidraw servers, but you can always select all and paste to your own scene when you're finished with the theme session. Excalidraw Publish lets you export Excalidraw drawings to the web. I've included how-to instructions following the link below. Excalidraw comes with many predefined document properties to override plugin settings at the file level. For example, this property and value will open the drawing in view mode by default. There is a field suggester available in source mode that includes a description of these settings. Finally, Excalidraw Automate, or in short, EA, allows you to automate practically anything. To test it, press Ctrl-Shift or Command-Option-I to open the developer console. The example on screen reads the text of the selected element in the scene. EA also comes with built-in help. Simply call EA Help to learn more about functions. I invite you to join me on my journey to create a visual PKM tool and methodology. The features you see today took me over 3 years of hard work to create, and there are still many things I'd love to build. Sign up as a regular supporter to become part of this amazing quest. Check out the link to my Ko-fi site in the video description. I'm hosting a Discord community. You can join it for free following the link in the Excalidraw plugin splash screen. Finally, the Visual Thinking Workshop is my 6-week-long cohort-based course exploring the Mindset Visual Thinking Framework. Excalidraw in Obsidian is designed to support the mindset. Join the next cohort starting in June, or if that is already gone, check out the link in the video description. In June, we'll be reading The Creative Act by Rick Rubin. Enjoy Excalidraw, and don't forget, there is a link to this mind map in the video description. Explore the linked videos organized around the topics we've discussed today. Thank you.